Hello, my name's George MacKay, and I'm here at the festival in Zlín to show Sunshine on Leithem and Bypass, two films screening here. Yeah, I was 10 years old and it was a film called Peter Pan, and I got the job there was actually 3 boys from my school, ended up being 3 of the 6 Lost Boys, and a casting lady came around our school and just picked out a bunch of boys to go along to an audition, a bit like the open auditions that were happening today. And yeah, and we played drama games for a day, and then I got called back for a number of reading the script, and yeah, and eventually got the part, which was amazing. So we went off to Neverland for 8 months to film it. It was amazing. Like I'd never had any experience on a film set before, but we got taken to. We filmed it out in Australia, put onto these incredible sets. I mean, they built a pirate ship that was on hydraulics so it would move, and it was kind of unbelievable that was our job. It wasn't really a job, you just had to make believe, and we got to get covered in face paint, great costumes, and run around. Everything was filmed inside, so they built these incredible sets that was the size of these warehouses, just filled with forests. So it was like nothing I'd ever seen before. If I remember rightly, I'd seen Peter and the Wolf at the theatre before, and I remember the music from it, and I just really loved it. And so I thought it would be a good idea. There was a park near me that had a suitable tree that would be a good stage and a good swinging device, because basically I cast myself as the wolf because I cast myself as the wolf just so I could swing in the tree when he got caught at the end. And for that to happen, I needed all my friends to be in it as well, so I got them to do it. I think so. I think when I first started, I wasn't really thinking at all about what I'd like to be when I was older, which in a way was really lovely, because it's brilliant if you know what you want to do when you're younger, but you don't have to yet at that age, and so it was. I was able to have the experience without putting any pressure on myself, thinking about it as a job. I just got to enjoy it for what it was, and through that, this made me decide that I definitely wanted to do it forever. Well, the boys are back. There was lots of strange coincidences with that.
Of course he will. So this is your little brother. This is Artie.
Hi, Artie.
It didn't look like this when Artie's mother was alive.
Daddy, are you alright?
Shouldn't a woman look after children? Artie, shoes. Hurry up. You've got them on the wrong feet.
These are the only feet I've got.
Hurry! Have you taken the rubbish out?
Not yet.
Do I have to do everything around here?
Why are you so angry?
What makes you think I'm angry? What chance do they stand now?
They've got you.
We can do it. I promise.
Can I do it again, Daddy? Can I?
Yes.
My dad's from Australia, and he used to live down the road from the director when they were both little boys, but they didn't really know each other. They just knew of each other. And my cousin was the sound mixer on the director's son's first band. So there were all these kind of connections that made it feel like it was meant to be. But it was just wonderful. Scott, the director, was really involving and really encouraged you to sort of really be a part of the process. And he was very respectful of the fact that I was still very young, but also treated me as an adult as well. So he seemed to strike a wonderful balance. And Clive, of course, was a really lovely man and really extraordinary to work with him and learn from him. So it was beautiful, yeah. It was really beautiful where we shot it. It was a special time, that one. Well, it was the usual process to start with. I just went for the audition. I sent off an audition tape first, which is a bit like these interviews. If you can't be in the country where they're casting, you will send off a video for them, and if they like it, then you might get another audition after that. And so when I first read it, there were scenes from the film, but there wasn't a full script.
He survived and came back, but it's a shame that the other boys didn't make it.
You remember it?
Ah,
He didn't think you were right for the boat. Said having someone like you out there was dangerous.
Brother's not coming back.
They've all forgotten saying you're gone. But I know you're not gone. I know you're still alive.
Michael! It was really great. The first time I met Paul, who directed it, we had this quite a long audition session where there was another actress as well who we were reading together, and we improvised a lot around the scenes and sort of used them as a framework to really kind of play about. And so, despite the character being quite a dark story and Aaron, the character I play, being very troubled and it being quite upsetting some of the time, it was actually a really incredibly fun film to shoot, because everyone was all working together in this small town in Scotland and just all really working for each other and trying to do things bigger than kind of what our budget suggested or anything like that. We were always just trying to take one step further, which was really exciting to be a part of. So yeah, it was actually a joy, despite it being quite a sad film. It was probably one of the funnest times I've ever had. The fact that he was an actor before, he understands all the worries that you might have.
Have you thought about what you're going to do now that we're out?
Most of it involves your sister.
Hey.
Oh, come here.
Ma, it's all right.
I'm sorry to hear about Ronnie.
It was my squad, Dad. It was my responsibility.
One drink, then I'm off.
Don't tell me. Tell your sister. She wants you to meet her pal.
I'm sure your brother's lovely. I'm just not up for small talk.
This one's different.
Different how?
He's just going to be staring at your tits.
She's English. It's English.
I'm on my way from misery to happiness today.
Gonna propose to Liz.
It was one night. It was 25 years ago, Jane.
We were married, Rab. I want you to get out of my sight.
It's over and done with, it's over and done with. It's over and done with, it's over and done with.
As an actor, and especially the fact that a lot of us hadn't really done much singing before, and so we were quite nervous about doing that. And so perhaps when we first started, would hold back a little bit because we didn't want to embarrass ourselves. And he was really good at just encouraging us, because he's felt all those same worries and nerves before, be it on set for different reasons. Perhaps it's not for singing, but it's every first day you're really nervous, and you want to do a good job, but you might be feeling quite insecure about it. And he just knew, because he's been through that himself, how to make you feel better and how to make you confident in going for it. And we sort of found that something like singing and dancing, unless you actually really go for it, it usually it's much worse basically if you try and do it half and half. You've just got to completely commit. And yeah, so he was really brilliant in encouraging a sort of excitement and confidence to do that. How I Live Now is a really special project to me. I've met some really wonderful friends on it.
Who's that?
Edmund. He's the oldest.
I guess I was pretty naive back then.
You and I, no one else, nothing else but you and I.
I'm glad you came. It's better with you here.
What's going on?
Following the detonation of a nuclear device, all civilians are being evacuated.
This is our home. We're not leaving.
I want to be here with you.
Girls, follow me.
Wherever they take you, find a way to get back here. Promise me.
You can't split us up.
And it was so special to work with people like Kevin MacDonald and with Saoirse and Tom. I think the thing is that the book which it's based on, and then the script itself and our film it's a really real, grounded version of now. Basically, it's a sort of alternate version of now, and there's elements of sort of future in it, but it feels of a world that's it's rooted in a very real world. That's a world that's not been too affected by society. The fact it's in the countryside and everything, their reality has remained the same for a long time. And so when it's disrupted, it's all the sort of crazier basically. And it focuses more about the relationships within it rather than the sort of apocalyptic goings on. That's always in the background, and that has a sort of there's a sort of a feeling of fear and a kind of dread sometimes about these bigger elements that are pulling apart what you have. But I think those are so affecting because the relationships are the most important thing in it. With the work that I do, I mean, I'm just learning so much at the minute and want to continue learning. And I found that where I've learned most, it's usually where I've kind of committed a lot to the whole experience.
You feel any better?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's nice you remember what I said.
You looking for grad? I got work if you're interested.
He offered you something, didn't he?
Lily, you're a star.
Look after your kid. I need some money.
What for?
Food at school.
All right, Mark. It's Tim. Managed to get rid of most.
Getting behind. Don't forget who I do.
Why were you being sick?
I wasn't being sick.
You're right now?
I'm fine.
You're being careful, aren't you? Because all we have is each other.
Don't be fucking like me again. You come when I say you come.
You're gonna be a dad. Be a family.
And that often happens with being close to a director. It doesn't always have to happen, but sometimes being close to the director, you kind of feel like you're collaborating all the more, and you feel like you're investing all the more. And with Bypass, that was something myself and Dwayne, the director, became very close on that. And he was looking. He's usually worked with non-actors in his work previously, and he was looking to kind of collaborate on a level where we're just testing out different ways of working and different sort of methods of how to play a scene and how to tell a story. And so it was just full of new experiences, and I just found that committing to something like that was such an enriching experience. Like as a learning experience, you take so much from it. But it's basically you sort of take what you give. I hope, and it feels like that on a personal level with kind of what you learn. So yeah, it was intense, but it was great. It was just so incredible to be on set with all those actors all the time, and I mean...
Now, I'm hoping you can clear something up for me about lesbians.
Not now, Gwen.
It's something I was told in the covered market.
Let's get settled in first, shall we?
We raised this money because we want to help you.
Everything will be all right once they start to mix.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm just talking to Kev about something.
Get out there and find a gay or a lesbian right now.
I don't want the wrong impression.
Right. Because you're so bloody irresistible.
What I was told about lesbians can't be true, can it? You're all vegetarians.
It's embarrassing enough they spent one night on Dice Floor.
I don't mind taking more. Not the lesbians so much because of their cuisine, but I'll take an extra gay.
Mining communities are being bullied just like we are.
Without that pit, these villages are nothing. They're finished.
The gaggle of gays and lesbians has come out in favour of the miners' strike.
We've been backed up by perverts.
Every day they're out collecting for us.
What they're really doing is pushing their own agenda.
You better shut her mouth or I'm gonna do it.
When you're in a battle against an enemy so much bigger, so much stronger than you, to find out you had a friend you never knew existed, well, that's the best feeling in the world.
It was really lovely to work with people your own age as well, because you were inspired by the elder actors and their experience and how brilliant they were at their job, but then you're also inspired by the people the same age who you could relate to perhaps on a more personal level because you're going through the same things at the time and each as overwhelmed as each other. But to just be there every day, and the fact that there were so many every day, there's sometimes, you know, with social circles, if there's a small group of people, you find that you have to sort of play roles of, you know, there's the funny one and the quiet one and the leader and things. But the fact that there was about 40 of us on set all of the time, there was no need for that. But everyone could just completely be as they felt in themselves that day. And if you were feeling quiet that day, you could be quiet because there was someone else to sort of tell the jokes. And if you were feeling particularly social and having a good time, then you could be the one telling the jokes. And everyone was just there to sort of meet each other, you know. And especially when you're telling a story that's so much about people coming together and breaking down surface level boundaries, you know, unconsciously you do that more than you usually would yourself. And so it was really refreshing to just meet people on a level as humans and be completely relaxed with each other. Captain Fantastic, which has got Viggo Mortensen in it, who's you know, who's in Lord of the Rings and Eastern Promises and The Road, and he was a fantastic actor to work with. And it's that's the story of this family who basically have lived away from society. He's the father of this family who he doesn't believe in the way that American society is at the moment. So he's raised them in the woods, and they're sort of extraordinary on a physical and mental level, but they've never sort of hung out with any kids their own age. So they're very intelligent, very athletic, but completely unsocialized. And at the beginning of the story, the mother dies, and she's been in a mental institution down in the south of America, and her parents are going to bury her in a way that she didn't want to be buried, and so they get on a bus and drive down the west coast of America to try and break up the funeral. So that's coming out, and that's kind of about how they fare when they meet society on the way down. And then there's a program coming to British television called The Outcast, which I think will then be distributed in other countries. And but I'm just about to start a television series called 11/22/63, which is set in the 60s in America. So yeah, it should be fun.